Chapter 1. Boy in a Bubble. It was a long night late in the other. I unfortunately worked the night shift. At least I could make coffee from my shelf using the coffee machine in the staff room. The nights were pretty quiet. Not as many people come for coffee in the night compared to the day. New York is pretty loud, but it turns into calm seas when the sun hits the earth. I brushed my hair out of my face. It was short and frizzy, and for some reason the creator had to make me with this weird white streak in front of my dark brown puff of hair. I leaned on the counter. Me and my coworker, also my younger brother Tommy, just took the night shift so we can have time to be together. Or at least that's why I took the night shift. For all I know, he could hate me to the bone, but never show it. He is a wonder and a mystery to this world. "Wilbur," he cried. "The coffee machine is broken again. Can you fix it?" I turned to look at him, still leaning on the counter.
"Fine, I'll fix it. Just next time, if you want coffee, just let me know and I'll make it for you. I'm a big man now, Will. I can make my own coffee." I rolled my eyes. A big man now? Where does this kid get his vocab from?
I went over to the coffee machine and fixed it, which only took about 4 minutes. The front door opened up as a couple walked inside and looked at the menu.
"You're up."
I raised my right hand, quoted, "Big man." I giggled at that. I never ever heard anyone ever call him that. Tommy rolled his eyes and went over and started the customers as I pulled my sleeve up and looked at the time. 4:49 p.m. That's annoying. 1 minute off. Afterwards, I pushed my sleeve of my yellow sweater back down.
"Hey, Tom." "Hello, William."
William? When did he ever call me by my full name?
"It's almost time to go. Got any more Christmas shopping to do?" "Yeah, I got my girlfriend something. It should be a super quick shop at the mall. What about you?"
He looked over at me from the other side of the counter.
"Got anyone special, Will?" By special, he was asking if I had a girlfriend yet. Once more, I rolled my eyes. "No, why would I?" "So, you're not getting anything for Dad?" "Already did." "Why, did you not?" I...
He sighed. "No," he whispered under his breath. I smirked.
"I'm sorry, Thomas. I didn't hear you properly."
I went over and started to scan the radio, looking for a good Christmas song to listen to, at the same time trying to make him say no louder. Tommy sighed.
"No, not yet."
He rubbed his left arm. I could hear him whining because of the silence that floated in the room, or mainly just behind the counter.
"Wilbur!"
He stretched the L out in my name long. This was the first stage of Whiny Tommy. And this is exactly why me and him were given the night shift.
Yes, I'll let you shout a gift for Dad. Almost I'll just give it to you at that."
I whispered that last part under my breath. Soon enough, I just turned off the radio in defeat, not finding a good station to listen to for music. So we just had to settle for cringy coffee shop music. "Thanks, Will." Tommy practically jumped over the counter to hug me. I just patted his head.
"No problem, mate. It's the least I can do. I don't expect the youngest brother to buy everything for himself. Or Dad at that."
"What's that supposed to mean?" He let go of the tight hug and crossed his arms.
"Forget it, Toms. I have to clock out early. Are you alright closing up on your own?"
I turned to the staff door just a little ways from the register and held on to the door handle.
"Toms?"
I turned and looked back at him once more.
"Are you going off to go do all that hero stuff again?"
He stretched out hero a little bit.
"Yeah, I need to go do my rounds."
That laugh was bad enough to even make myself cringe a little.
"Fine, but you gotta show me one of those songs you've been working on."
He looked at me with pleading eyes.
Alright, I'll show you when I get home."
Tommy smiled, a sly but genuine smile.
"Alright, frick off so I can be in peace as I close up for once in my life."
I threw my hands up in a mockery defense.
Alright, I'm leaving.
I walked into the staff room and grabbed my keys and backpack and walked into the parking lot. It seemed quite weird that there was no hero activity anywhere. I went over to my motorcycle and hopped on. I pulled out the keys and turned on the wild roaring beast in all its glory. I rode down Main Street, heading to one of the side roads. Eventually, an old, tall, abandoned warehouse stood in front of me. Some of the higher-up windows were busted open. I pulled over the bike and parked it under a covering, making sure no one would steal it. I grabbed my bag and slung it over my right shoulder. The keys in my hand jingled as I walked up to the door and unlocked it, then relocked it. My shoes tapped as my foot hit the steps to the second floor. After about 10 minutes, I reached the top of the stairs. A low, smoky voice echoed across the room. I'll give you a warning. Don't take another step or your head's gonna get sliced off. Good one. I continued to walk up a step as a switchblade clung to the wall. I stood still, not even flinching. I slowly looked up and brushed the hair out of my face. My hand reached up and grabbed the handle and yanked it out of the wall with no struggle. I looked over to my left and saw a man in a red zip-up hoodie and dark blue. Are those skinny jeans? I shook my head, getting out of the thought. Why are you wearing skinny jeans? I blurted out. Not even I knew I was going to yell that. The man just chuckled. Says the man that literally brought a whole orchestra conductor outfit just for his night job. I walked up the steps and over to my right, where an old metal-framed mattress hovered above the ground. The backpack slid off my shoulder and onto the bed. Where's Apollo? Wasn't he supposed to join us? The man asked once more. No, he's closing up at the day job. Where did you put my fit? I looked over at the man once more and smirked. Dave! I stretched out the A for a few seconds. Calm down, you crybaby. I already put it in the bathroom so you can change. I also added a netting into the mask so if it does come off, a mesh will cover your face. You're welcome. Dave took a sip of his soda and sat down on the red, worn-out couch. Thanks. You need a mask on or go with that weird purple skin changing thing again? The skin thing? You hate that, don't you? You keep asking about it. What? No! I'm just making sure you have a way to hide your identity. I headed to the bathroom to change, leaving my bag on my bed. The outfit laid on the sink, folded up neatly, a half comedy and half tragedy mask on top. The tragedy mask side was buffed out a little bit more than the comedy. I put it to the side as I slid into the outfit. Most of the outfit was just like any other ordinary orchestra conductor had. But instead of a long jacket, I had a vest that I wore, as Dave puts it, like Glitch Trap from the video game he plays. Whatever he means by that. Then I slid on the silky white gloves that went to my wrists, and then my favorite part, putting on the mask. The straps on the back were from 2 old dark brown belts, both buckles just a little bit off-centered, so it was nice and snug on my face. I didn't even feel the netting Dave imported. I looked up at the mirror and looked into the eyes of the mask, stained with old blood that could be faintly seen. My right hand lifted and pressed the button under the mask. I cleared my voice, a much higher-pitched voice than my usual. Perfect. I grabbed the switchblade and put it on the shelf on my left. Then I walked out and rolled up my mustard yellow sweater and dark blue jeans together. Walking back to the mattress and placing them, stuffing them actually, in the bag. Then I zipped it back up. Dave walked over and threw an arm around me, shaking me a little bit. I pulled the mask up a little bit and smiled at Dave, his pale skin now a dense purple, his light blue eyes now gone to a bright white, the background of his eyes turned into void almost. His smile was surprisingly soothing. Ready to go rob a bank? He asked in his most casual voice ever. I laughed a bit and looked down, throwing my left arm around his shoulder. Yeah, I'm ready, Guy. Guy was a short name I had for him instead of crying, Purple Guy, whenever you needed help in a fight. He let go of one of my arms and walked over to one of the large windows that had decaying wood as the frame. I pulled the mask back down and ran to the window, jumping and free-falling. I looked up and saw Guy falling right after, his smile wide. When I turned to look back at the ground, I rolled on top of the rooftop. Soon enough, standing back up and sticking my arms out so Dave fell right onto them. I placed him down and ran across the rooftop once more. Thanks, he said, his voice light and airy. It's weird how Dave and I became friends. We were just walking and soon enough desired to be villains. We could have been vigilantes, but what fun is that? If all you do is really be a minor to anyone else. To be honest, me and Dave were pretty alike. We both were almost like in a bubble when we first met. No, a boy in a bubble. We stuck together. We never left each other's side. I jumped over a railing and slowed down to a walk. Then I stopped, looking down at Main Street from the edge of the building. My arms crossed as my hair swayed in the wind. Dave ran up behind me and pointed to the large white building on my left.
Oh, my friend.
I looked at him and nodded once more before starting to head up towards the bank again. Guy followed right behind me, rarely struggling to keep up because of how long spaced out my strides or my steps were. We still got to the bank. Even though the plan wasn't clear, we still knew what to do.